She summoned security on a black man lounging by the poolside, unaware he oversees the police force. He'd barely settled into his seat when her voice pierced through. "Pardon me, do you reside here?" The phrase sliced the thick Alabama. Heat like a blade, not booming but pointed, patronizing, as if she'd already concluded he didn't fit. James Carter had eagerly anticipated this moment all week. A serene Saturday afternoon, a chilled water bottle, and some leisurely swims at the pool near the Silver Lake Estates clubhouse, a secure enclave on Mobile's eastern edge. His attire was unremarkable. Just swim shorts, shades, and a towel draped over his shoulder. No novel in hand, none required. He simply craved a moment of stillness. The woman addressing him approached with purpose, arms crossed as if tackling an issue. She was determined to resolve. She seemed close to his age, perhaps a touch younger, clad in a light yellow tennis skirt and a crisp white polo, as if en route to a posh fundraiser later. He raised his gaze gradually, composed. "Yes," he replied simply, yet her skepticism lingered. "Are you a tenant here?" she pressed, her chin tilted upward. "Since I've been here 9 years and don't recall spotting you before." James blinked once behind his shades, unmoved, unexasperated, expression neutral. "I own the house on Ashby Lane, end plot," he stated. "Moved in nearly 2 years ago." A brief chuckle escaped her, not amused, but dismissive, signaling disbelief. "Oh, really now?" she remarked, eyes narrowing. "Listen, I'm not after drama, all right? But folks don't just stroll into this pool unless they're legit, and you didn't swipe a key card." James tilted his head a fraction, gesturing toward the entrance. A passerby held the gate open as they left. "Didn't figure it'd be an issue." She edged nearer, too near, looming over him as if to eclipse the sunlight. "Well, it's an issue," she declared, voice rising, "because this is exclusive. There's private property, and I don't recognize you. Show me ID, or I'm contacting security." James rose at last, not hurriedly, not leisurely, just enough to lock eyes. With her. "I'm James Carter, a resident here. I owe you no proof." That's when she whipped out her phone, gave a curt nod, not texting but dialing. "I'm phoning the clubhouse now. If you're bluffing, you're in deep trouble." He stood firm, but the poolside crowd began to stir. A mom herded her kids to the shallow end. A middle-aged guy peeked up from his seat, head cocked toward the commotion. Tension rippled outward, slow and steady. A teenage girl nearby murmured to her friend, hit record on her phone. Lisa, her name he'd learn later, shifted slightly, describing him. "Yes, a man's here, maybe 40s or 50s. Dark skin, fit blue swim shorts, claims he's a resident but no key card. Yes, I feel uneasy." That term, uneasy, not scared, not threatened, just uneasy. "They're dispatching someone," she said, arms folding again, "so I'd stay right there if I were you." He didn't reclaim his seat, just pivoted slightly toward the clubhouse entrance. The girl filming persisted. Lisa noticed, unbothered. She glanced at James, evidently expecting him to falter or justify himself again, but he didn't. Instead, he fished a slim black wallet from his towel, flipped it open, and raised the badge within. It shone in the sunlight. Chief of Police, Mobile, Alabama. She gaped, blinked once, then twice. Her mouth parted as if to speak, but silence reigned. For the first time in 5 minutes, she was speechless. The onlookers, though, weren't. A voice muttered, "Wow." Another gasped, "No kidding." The vibe shifted swiftly, subtlety vanished, people stared, phones angled his way, chats halted mid-phrase, sandals scuffed closer, straining to catch every word. The heat held steady, but the atmosphere thickened with curiosity. James tucked his badge back into the wallet. No flourish, no smirk, just a calm assertion of fact. Lisa, meanwhile, looked drained, her bravado seeping away. He faced her, tone level. "I value your vigilance for the area," he said. "But maybe next time ask first before judging. It wasn't a jab, nor harsh, yet it struck deeper than a shout. She fumbled to rebound. "Well, I didn't realize. You weren't dressed like... How could I... You shouldn't have jumped to conclusions," a voice cut in. It belonged to a man across the pool, late 30s, in mirrored shades and a cap. "You saw a black guy by the pool and figured he didn't belong. That's the deal here." Lisa spun around. "Excuse me?" "You heard me," he said, rising. "You'd have stayed quiet if he looked like me." He was white. Lisa shook her head. "You can't know that." "True," he replied. "But neither did you." A clap rang out, not loud but clear, then another. A faint, slow wave of support rolled through. Lisa scanned the crowd, grasping how many had witnessed it all, her words, her tone, and how few backed her. She turned to James, flustered. "Look, I didn't mean it like that. I just wanted to safeguard the community, that's it." James didn't reply instantly. He surveyed the faces, the shifting looks, the subtle stances as people picked sides. Then he said, unexpectedly, "I don't want an apology now. I want you to reflect on this. How fast it could have spiraled if I hadn't stayed cool, if no one filmed, if I weren't who I am." Lisa averted her gaze. "But I am," he added, "and I'm here, just like you." Her mouth opened, but her words were faint, unheard. She grabbed her tote from the table and hurried off, eyes glued to the pavement, sandals smacking harder than needed. The girl kept recording as Lisa vanished through the gate. James exhaled, sinking back into his chair. He reached for his water, sipped slowly, and let out a breath, like he'd held it far longer than 5 minutes. The cap-wearing man strolled over. "Chief Carter, right?" he asked. James nodded slightly. "That's me. I'm Mike, Unit 304. Just saying, you handled that better than I ever could have. For real." James gave a faint smile. "Thanks. Not my first time." 10. Mike shook his head. "Still, you didn't need to stay that chill. Most would have snapped." James gazed over the pool. Kids resumed splashing. Music kicked in again, yet the moment's weight lingered, unseen but tangible. "I've got to stay chill," he said, "or I'm pegged as angry, hostile, a threat. Learned long ago, breathe first, talk later." Mike perched on the chair's edge beside him. "Think she's sorry?" James paused. "I think she's humiliated. It's a beginning." "What she does next is her call." Mike nodded, then eyed the girl's phone across the pool. "That video's gonna blow up by tonight." James glanced over, face unchanged. "Yeah," he said, "I figured." Yet neither grasped how vast it'd grow, or how many would buzz about it by dawn. It took mere hours. By dusk, the clip swept through local group chats. By midnight, it leapt platforms: Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. Captions varied, but the tale stayed. Woman tries to boot black man from pool, unaware he's police chief. Racial profiling in 2025. She chose the wrong target. The footage wobbled but stayed sharp. Lisa's voice rang clear, her inflection, her phrases, and James flashing his badge. Pure online gold. Comments flooded, some furious, some cheering, some stunned. But James wasn't shocked. Not really. He sat solo in his living room next. Morning. Coffee mug in one hand, phone in the other. No TV, no tunes, just him and a swelling tide of messages. Attention wasn't new. He'd faced cameras before, briefings, panels, fundraisers. But this, unplanned, unpolished, raw, real, and it struck a chord. He scrolled a few more clips, then set the phone down, rubbing his eyes. The doorbell chimed. He rose, stretched, and approached the door. Through the glass, an unexpected sight. Lisa. No tennis skirt or chic shades this time. Just jeans, a loose sweater, and a white-knuckled grip on her purse strap. She looked sleepless. James opened the door, silent. She cleared her throat. "Chief Carter, I wanted to stop by in person." He arched a brow. "Sure about that? You've seen online today." She nodded faintly. "Yeah, I saw. That's why I'm here." He stepped aside. She wavered, then entered, hovering near the threshold like she doubted her place. James headed to the kitchen. Coffee? No, thanks. He poured himself another cup, leaned on the counter. She scanned his home. Family pics on the walls, an academy certificate, a painting of the Edmund Pettus Bridge. I didn't know you lived here, she said. I told you I did. She winced. Yeah, you did. I didn't buy it. James let the quiet stretch. Lisa stared at her shoes. I don't know what to say. I screwed up bad. I get it now. You got it then, James said, voice soft. You just didn't care. She looked up, stung, but didn't protest. You saw me by the pool and decided I didn't fit. You called security, painted me, like a crook, said you felt uneasy. Why? Lisa's mouth opened, then shut. I don't know, she whispered. I didn't think. It felt wrong. It's unfair, I know, but it's honest. James shook his head slowly. You didn't think, because you've never needed to. That's the gap. She nodded. You're right, totally right. She dug into her purse, pulled out a folded note. I wrote this. It won't fix it, but I wanted it on paper, if you ever want to share. He didn't take it. She placed it on the table. I don't expect forgiveness, she added. I just didn't want my quiet to be your last memory of me. She turned to leave, but James spoke. Know what bugs me most? She froze. You thought you were guarding this place, but never asked from what? From me? Lisa stayed still, facing away. That's the danger, he said. Not that you called, but that you thought you were right. She nodded, head bowed, then left. Unseen by her, as the door shut, James unfolded the letter and read. Silence returned, not calm but heavy. He stood alone, letter in hand. The writing was tidy, deliberate. Each line seemed drafted, redrafted, handwritten, not printed. That stuck with him. He read it once, then again. It wasn't flawless, no note could be, but it was genuine. She confessed acting on gut, raised, to spot misfits without asking why. No plea for pardon, just a try at understanding. He folded it, stashed it in a hall drawer, and stepped out. No more coffee, no more scrolling. He needed motion. Silver Lake Estate's streets were oddly hushed for a Sunday. Usually joggers, dog walkers, kids on scooters, but today stillness ruled. Everyone had seen or heard of the video. Some felt shame, others intrigue. A few likely saw no issue. But the quiet spoke. Passing the pool, he saw the filming girl with her dad on a clubhouse bench. She waved. Chief Carter, he approached. You recorded, right? Yeah, she said. I'm Chloe. Wasn't sure what to do, but felt I should film. Hope it's okay. You did right, he said. Thanks. Her dad stood, offered a hand. I'm David. Appreciate how you managed that. My girl learned a lot watching. James smiled. Hope she's not alone. They chatted briefly before he walked on, circling the neighborhood once, then home. No anger, no fatigue, but a shift brewed. That afternoon, City Hall called. The mayor wanted a chat. Not crisis mode, not spin, just talk. She said the pool incident sparked more than expected. James set a meet for tomorrow. Then the local news rang, wanted a quote, maybe a sit-down. He passed for now, not ready for lights and mics, not yet, but it loomed. By morning, headlines hit, police chief profiled at pool. Community, reflection urged. Mobile reacts to viral clash. Assumptions turn to accusations. James didn't need to read them. He cared about private talks, at breakfast, in cars, at drop-offs. Harder to gauge, but vital. Monday, he stuck. To the office, cases, prepping a youth event for Friday. Staff gave space. No tiptoeing, no pressing. They knew he didn't center himself. That night, pulling in, he saw a note on his mailbox. We see you. We hear you. Thanks for your grace. Unsigned. He held it, glanced across. Curtains twitched. Someone watching, hiding, needing to see him. He waved faintly. The curtain shut, but he sensed it had part again. Less fear, more openness next time. By Tuesday, it left Mobile's grasp. The clip hit national news, snagged by a big account. No frills, just footage and a line. She told him to go. He's the police chief. That sparked it. Think pieces, reactions, tweets on Lisa's stance. A retired Cali cop praised James's cool head. A St. Louis pastor used it in a sermon. A meme split-screened Lisa shouting James with the badge. Plot twist of the year. But for James, the weight wasn't from online strangers. It was the inbox. Hundreds of emails. Locals, old friends, black kids awed by his calm in swim shorts and a badge. He replied to some, read all. One from Tulsa lingered. Watched it 5 times. Not for shock, but I saw my brother in you. My husband, my son. Thanks for not reacting their way. Calm isn't silent. He reread it. That evening, grilling chicken out back, his sister Sarah called. Lord James, she said. No hello. You didn't say you'd blow up online. He laughed, first in days. Wasn't the plan. Always had that don't test me look, she said. Since you were 12. Just wanted to chill, he said. Didn't think I needed a uniform for a pool. Sarah softened. You good? Yeah, he said. Just worn. A beat. What gets me, she said, is they never see. Osa's regular. Police chief and some woman thinks you're trespassing for existing. I know, he said. Trust me, I know. Think she's learned. She's mulling it. It's a start. Sarah sighed. Proud of you. Don't bear it all. Let us help. He watched the grill smoke rise. Yeah, he said. I hear you. They swapped old tales, laughed, hung up. He sat out past the grill's cool down. The area wasn't its usual hum, but it eased. Music drifted low nearby. Kids' voices echoed faintly 2 houses down. Something settled. Not peace, but clarity. This wasn't a fleeting scene. It was a reflection folk couldn't dodge. But reflection wasn't enough. James knew he had to speak before it twisted off course. He waited till Wednesday morn. No big press, no cameras, no mic row. Just a bench, same pool, same spot. His assistant propped a phone on a tripod. Simple. The sky was crisp. No cuts, no score, just James in a basic button-up, his steady calm. He inhaled, began, I'm James Carter, Mobile's police chief. But first, I'm a man, a neighbor, a dad, someone who wanted a quiet poolside Saturday to unwind. He paused, stared into the lens. What went down wasn't fresh, not stunning, not rare, just recorded. He shifted on the bench, no rage, no preach, just firm, measured words. We're in a land where skin still sparks assumptions, where just being somewhere, anywhere, brings queries if you look like me. Not a charge, a truth. I live it daily. He let it hang. I wasn't hassled for wrongdoing. I was hassled because someone figured I didn't belong. She's not the first, won't be the last. What counts is how we handle these flashes. He leaned in. I didn't trend for being a hero. I trended because a phone caught what we all know happens too much. This time, me. Next, maybe your son, neighbor, pal. A breeze stirred the trees behind. I'm not here to bash anyone. No need to smear to prove a point. I'm saying this can't just be another viral blip. These moments must shift us. He tapped his chest lightly. That's pausing before you speak, act, or tag someone odd for being in a spot you don't. Reckon they fit. Another pause. To my fellow officers, that badge doesn't shield you from bias. It means you bring your story to more places, rooms, wield it well, stay humble. He nodded once, eased back. To all who wrote, thanks. To all watching, here's a simple take. He met the camera's eye. Feel like confronting, pause, accusing, ask, assuming. Stop. That pause could split peace from pain, dignity from shame, life from something else. A faint smile. Look out for each other. Let's do better together. He rose, headed to the gate, screen fading to black. Seconds later, the caption, "Hit no more sorries, we need awareness." And so it spread, not for drama, not fury, but truth, change, a crack at breaking through. If this hit you, don't stop here. Chat with friends, check your biases, and if you spot wrong, speak. Up, one small spark can start a bigger talk. Make this one.